You feel tired, but not from work. You feel anxious, but there's no danger. You feel weak, but nothing's physically wrong. So what's really happening to you? Why does it feel like life is slipping through your fingers while your strength disappears? Here's the truth. Your anxiety is not the problem. It's a signal, a warning that you've been living out of alignment with who you really are. And it's time to come back. In this video, we'll explore 7 powerful Stoic reasons you feel this way and exactly how to fix them. Like, share, and let me know in the comments. Rule 1. You keep avoiding discomfort. Settle in now. Let the noise of the day fall away from you. Release the armor you've been wearing, the tension in your jaw, the tightness across your shoulders, the frantic energy behind your eyes. With each slow, deep breath, feel yourself sinking into this moment, into this quiet sanctuary we are building together. The world can wait. Here, you are safe. Here, you can be honest. Tonight, we begin a journey to understand the real reasons you feel weak and anxious. It's not because you are broken. It's not because something is inherently wrong with you. The anxiety you feel, that gnawing sense of being lost or fragile, is a signal. It is your soul telling you that the way you are living is out of alignment with the strong, centered man you are meant to be. We will walk through the 7 great disconnects that steal our power. And for each one, we will find the Stoic fix, the ancient path back to strength. The first and most fundamental reason we feel weak and anxious is this. You live without a clear inner code. Breathe in and think about your day. Think about the decisions you made, big and small. What guided them? Was it the opinion of your boss? The mood of your partner? The pressure from a post you saw online? The fear of being disliked? When you lack a personal philosophy, the defined inner code, you become a leaf in the wind. You are blown about by every external pressure, every passing emotion, every new trend. You are a ship without a rudder, at the mercy of a chaotic sea. One moment, a favorable comment pushes you toward happiness. The next, a critical look sends you spiraling into doubt. This constant instability, this lack of a firm anchor, is the very definition of anxiety. You feel weak because your sense of self is not grounded in anything solid. It is outsourced to the world. A man without a code is forced to improvise his character in every situation. He is constantly asking, what should I do? What would they approve of? A man with a code asks a different question. What does my code demand of me? The great Stoic teacher Epictetus laid out the fix with beautiful simplicity. He said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This is the task. It is the beginning of all strength. It is the end of feeling lost. The practice is not complex, but it requires courage and honesty. Sometime this week, you will take out a journal or even just a piece of paper. You will sit in silence and you will become the architect of your own character. You will ask yourself, what do I stand for? What are the non-negotiable virtues that will define the man I am building? Write them down. Perhaps it is honesty too. Speak the truth even when it's difficult. Perhaps it is discipline to do what is necessary, not just what is easy. Perhaps it is courage to face your fears instead of running from them. Perhaps it is integrity to be the same man in private. As you are in public, then, you will ask the second, equally important question. What do I refuse to be? I refuse to be a coward. I refuse to be a liar. I refuse to be a slave to the opinions of others. This is your code. It is your personal constitution. It is the solid ground beneath your feet. Once you have this clarity, every decision becomes simpler. Every action flows from this center. You stop being a leaf in the wind and you become the mountain unmoved by the gales of public opinion, firm in your own foundation. Peace begins where clarity begins. As you drift towards sleep, Let go of the need to figure it all out on the fly. Let go of the frantic energy of trying to be everything to everyone. Instead, feel the quiet, powerful peace of having a direction, a North Star. You are no longer drifting tomorrow. You will not ask the world who you should be. You will tell the world through your quiet, deliberate actions who you have decided to be. Rest now in the profound peace of a man who is finally coming home to himself. Rule 2. You live without a clear inner code. Rule 2. Control the morning or the day will control you. Resting in the profound clarity of memento mori. The weight of triviality has lifted, and you are prepared to receive the gift of a new day with purpose and intention. This is the foundation. Now, we must build upon it. We must architect the very first hour of that precious day. For if yesterday was about why you should live with purpose, today is about how you begin. This brings us to our second rule, a rule for the modern warrior navigating a world determined to steal his focus before his feet even touch the floor. The rule is simple. Control the morning, or the day will control you. Breathe in and think of a typical morning. The jarring sound of the alarm. The immediate, almost unconscious reach for the phone. The drawbridge of your mind is lowered and, in rushes a flood of external noise. Emails from a demanding boss. Notifications from social media, showing you the curated highlights of other people's lives. News headlines engineered to spark outrage and anxiety. Within seconds of waking, you have surrendered your own inner state. Your mood is now dictated by an algorithm. Your agenda is set by the demands of others. Your focus is shattered into 100 fragments before you've had a single clear thought of your own. You begin your day not as the king of your own inner castle, but as a court jester, frantically juggling the expectations and emergencies of the outside world. This is the fast track to feeling overwhelmed, reactive, and adrift. The Stoics understood that a day begun in chaos will be a day lived in chaos. To achieve a state of inner peace and power, what they called apatheia 1 must first command the dawn. The morning is a sacred territory. You must claim it as your own. So, the daily practice for Rule 2 is an act of quiet rebellion. It is a declaration of your own sovereignty. For the first 30 minutes of your day, your phone remains untouched. It can stay across the room, silent. The world, with all its noise and urgency, can wait. It is managed without you all night. It can manage for 30 more minutes. This is non-negotiable. This is your time. In this newfound silence, this golden half hour, you will not be passive. You will actively set the tone for your mind. You will perform 3 simple, powerful acts. First, breathe. Just sit on the edge of your bed. Feel your feet planted firmly on the floor and take 5 deep, conscious breaths, in and out. Feel the air fill your lungs. Feel the quiet in the room. You are not just breathing. You are anchoring yourself in the present moment, in the physical reality of your own body. You are coming home to yourself before you venture out into the world. Second, reflect. Having remembered that life is a gift, you now honor it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Feel that privilege. Let a sense of gratitude wash over you for the simple fact of your own consciousness. Third, direct. You will ask yourself one simple, guiding question. What virtue will I practice today? Virtue, to the Stoics, was the soul good. It is the excellence of your own character. Perhaps today's virtue is courage to face a task you've been avoiding. Perhaps it is temperance to resist a temptation or an impulse. Perhaps it is wisdom to listen more than you speak and to see situations clearly. Or perhaps it is justice to treat everyone you meet with fairness and respect. Choose one. Let it be your mission for the day. This single act transforms your day from a series of random events into a training ground for your soul. As you drift off to sleep tonight, visualize this new morning. See yourself waking not with a lurch of anxiety, but with a quiet sense of command. See yourself breathing, feeling grateful, and choosing your mission. Rule 3. You're addicted to external validation. You are resting now in the quiet strength of your own resolve. You have committed to facing discomfort, to choosing the disciplined path, and to building the spiritual calluses that create true resilience. You are learning to welcome challenge as your greatest teacher, but there is a subtle addiction, a quiet craving of the soul that can undermine all of this hard work. It is a hunger that can make the strongest man feel weak and the most disciplined man feel anxious with a single word or a lack of one. This is the third great reason you feel weak and anxious. You are addicted to external validation. Breathe in deeply, and as you breathe out, let your mind drift over the landscape of your day. How many of your actions, your words, your very thoughts were a performance? A subtle angling for a compliment, a desperate hope for a like on a screen, a silent prayer that someone would notice your effort and praise you for it. This need for validation is one of the most powerful and insidious addictions of the modern world. We post our lives, our workouts, our thoughts, and then we wait, holding our breath for the digital applause that tells us we are good enough, smart enough, successful enough. Our self-worth becomes a fragile boat, tossed about on the violent seas of public opinion. One positive comment, and we are soaring. One critical remark, one post that is met with silence, and we are sinking into a quiet pit of despair. When you let others decide your worth, you have given them the keys to your own inner peace. You have made them your masters. The Roman philosopher Seneca, a man who lived in the glaring spotlight of the imperial court, saw this slavery with perfect clarity. He warned, "He who seeks approval is enslaved to those who give it." You feel anxious because you have given away your power. You have placed your own sense of value in 1,000 other hands, hoping they will be gentle with it. You feel weak because your foundation is not built on the solid rock of your own character, but on the shifting sands of other people's moods and opinions. The fix for this addiction is not to become arrogant or to reject all feedback. It is to change the location of your courtroom. It is to fire the unpredictable jury of public opinion and to hire a single, wise, and permanent judge, your own conscience. The practice is to shift your motivation from external applause to internal alignment. Your new primary aim is not to impress others, but to impress yourself, the highest, most principled version of yourself. When you undertake a task, your goal is not the praise you will receive for finishing it, but the feeling of self-respect. You will learn from doing it with discipline and integrity. When you speak, your goal is not to be thought of as clever, but to know that you have spoken honestly and kindly. Before you post something online, ask yourself this powerful question: am I sharing this to express a genuine part of my journey? Or am I posting this as a plea for validation? Be radically honest in your answer. You must learn to live by principles, not by applause. Your code, the one you are building, becomes your ultimate measure of success. Did I act with courage today? Did I act with discipline? Did I act with integrity? The answer to these questions is the only verdict that matters. As you drift off to sleep, visualize yourself letting go of that desperate need for the world to clap for you. Imagine cutting the strings that tie your self-worth to the opinions of others. Feel the immense, liberating peace that comes from that freedom. You are no longer performing. You are simply being real strength, the kind that radiates a quiet, unshakable confidence, comes from within. It is the peace of a man who does not need the world to tell him he is worthy. because he is too busy building a life that proves it to himself. Rest now, not as an actor waiting for a review, but as the quiet, sovereign judge of your own great character. Your approval is the only one you need. Rule 4. You don't control your thoughts. They control you. You are resting in the profound freedom of internal validation. You have started the journey of reclaiming your self-worth, grounding it not in the shifting opinions of the world, but in the solid bedrock of your own principles. You are learning to seek the approval of only one person, the man you are striving to become. But even with this newfound freedom, a storm can rage within. A storm that requires no external trigger, no audience, no validation. It is the private, chaotic storm of your own untamed mind. This brings us to the fourth, and perhaps most intimate, reason you feel weak and anxious. You don't control your thoughts. They control you. Breathe in deeply, and as you breathe out, simply observe the nature of your mind for a moment. It is a wild, untamed place, isn't it? A relentless current of thoughts, memories, worries, and impulses, flowing without your permission. One moment, you are thinking about a task for tomorrow. The next, you are replaying an embarrassing moment from a decade ago. Then, a sudden wave of anxiety about the future crashes over you. For no apparent reason, we assume that this inner monologue is us. We identify with every thought that arises. If a fearful thought appears, we believe, I am afraid. If an angry thought appears, we believe, I am angry. If a thought of self-doubt appears, we believe, I am not good enough. We are like a person standing in the middle of a busy highway, trying to grab onto every car that speeds past. It is exhausting, overwhelming, and it is the direct cause of the mental spirals that leave us feeling weak and powerless. You feel anxious because you are a passenger in your own mind, taken on a terrifying joyride by every passing fear and impulse. You feel weak because you believe you are the storm, when in fact, you are the sky in which the storm is happening. The Stoics considered the mastery of this inner world to be the ultimate frontier of human potential. The Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a man whose external world was filled with chaos, constantly practiced this inner discipline. He reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the key. The outside world is beyond your command, but the kingdom of your mind is your birthright to rule. The fix is not to stop your thoughts. That is impossible. The fix is to change your relationship with them. It is to move from being a frantic participant to being a calm, detached observer. The practice for this is twofold. First, you must externalize your thoughts. The practice of journaling is essential. Each morning or each evening, spend just 5 minutes writing down whatever is in your head, without judgment. Let the anxious thoughts, the angry thoughts, the foolish thoughts pour out onto the page. When you see them written down, something magical happens. You realize they are not you. They are just thoughts, sentences on a page. And once you see them for what they are, you can question their truth. Is that fear realistic? Is that self-doubt based on fact, or is it just an old, tired story? Second, you must practice meditative stillness. This doesn't have to be complicated. Each morning, sit for just 3 to 5 minutes. Close your eyes and simply watch your thoughts as if they were clouds passing in the sky. Do not cling to them. Do not fight them. Do not judge them. Just notice them. There is a thought about work. There is a worry about money. There is a memory. As you do this, you are creating a space between you, the observer, and the thoughts being observed. In that space, you find your freedom. You realize you are not the cloud. You are the vast, silent, peaceful sky. The clouds of thought, Emotion and impulse can rage all they want, but they cannot harm the sky. As you drift towards sleep tonight, practice being the sky. Notice the thoughts that drift through your awareness as you lie here. Don't follow them. Don't get lost in their stories. Just let them come and let them go. Remind yourself with this gentle mantra: this thought is not me. It is just a cloud passing through the sky of my mind. Master your mind, or your mind will master you. Tonight, choose to be the master. Rest now, not as the prisoner of your thoughts, but as the calm, silent, and powerful sky that holds them all. Rule 5. You say yes to what drains you. You are resting now as the calm, silent sky of your own mind. You have begun to watch your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. And in that space of observation, you are discovering a profound and unshakable peace. You are the master of your inner kingdom. But even a wise king can see his kingdom fall into ruin if he leaves the gates wide open for anyone and everyone to enter and drain his resources. Your most precious resources are not gold or land. They are your time, your energy, and your focus. And the fifth reason you feel weak and anxious is because you give these resources away too freely. You say yes to what drains you. Breathe in deeply, and as you breathe out, think of your commitments from the past week. The social event you attended out of obligation, even though it left you feeling empty. The extra task you took on at work, not because it was your duty, but because you were afraid to say no. The one-sided conversation you endured, listening to endless complaints and negativity. The constant stream of notifications you allowed to interrupt your peace. With every one of these reluctant yeses, you betrayed a deeper no within yourself. You said no to your own peace. You said no to your own priorities. You said no to your own need for rest and recovery. This habit of saying yes to avoid conflict or disapproval is a slow poison to the soul. You feel weak because your energy is constantly being siphoned away by things that do not nourish you. You feel anxious because your life is filled with commitments that are not aligned with your true values. You are living someone else's life, fulfilling someone else's agenda, and your own center gets lost in the noise. You have abandoned your own needs in a futile attempt to manage the emotions of others. The Roman philosopher Seneca, a master of productivity and purposeful living, knew the danger of this. He understood that a man who doesn't know how to say no cannot give a truly meaningful yes. His yes becomes a sign of weakness, of compliance, not a mark of genuine commitment. The fix for this is to learn the sacred, powerful, and necessary art of the boundary. It is to understand that saying no is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of profound self-respect and strategic wisdom. The practice is to become a vigilant guardian of your time and energy. First, you must get clear on your priorities. Refer back to your inner code. What is most important to you? Your family? Your health? Your focused work? Your peace of mind? These are the big rocks. You must place them in the jar of your life first. If you say yes to every small pebble of a request that comes your way, you will find there is no room left for what truly matters. Second, you must practice saying no without guilt. This is a skill, and it requires practice. Start small. You do not need to provide a long, elaborate excuse. A simple, calm, and respectful no is a complete sentence. Thank you for the invitation, but I won't be able to make it. I appreciate you thinking of me for this project, but my focus is elsewhere right now. I'm not able to talk at the moment. You will notice that the world does not end. People may be momentarily disappointed, but they will respect your clarity, and you will feel a surge of strength and integrity. You are honoring your own needs. You are protecting your own peace. Learning to set these boundaries is not selfish, it is sacred. It is the only way you can preserve your energy to give a powerful, wholehearted yes to the people and projects that truly align with your purpose. As you drift off to sleep, give yourself permission to guard your own well-being. Let go of the guilt that has been programmed into you. You are not responsible for managing everyone else's happiness. You are responsible for stewarding your own life force. Visualize your time and energy as a garden. For too long, you have let anyone wander in and trample the flowers. Tonight, you are building a fence. Not to keep everyone out, but to consciously decide who and what you allow into your sacred space. Rest now, in the peaceful, protected sanctuary of a life that is truly your own. Rule 6. You've forgotten the present moment. You are resting in the peaceful sanctuary of a well-guarded life. You have committed to saying no to what drains you, so you can give a powerful, wholehearted yes to what truly matters. You are reclaiming your time, your energy, and your focus. You are learning to live a life that is truly your own. But even within this sacred, protected space, it is possible to miss your own life entirely. You can have all the time in the world, but if your mind is not where your body is, you are a ghost, haunting your own existence. This brings us to the sixth, and perhaps most common, reason you feel weak and anxious. You have forgotten the present moment. Breathe in deeply, and as you breathe out, truly arrive here, in this bed, in this room, in this moment. For a second, let go of what you have to do tomorrow. Let go of what happened earlier today. Just be here. It's difficult, isn't it? Our minds are conditioned to live anywhere but now. We live in the future, rehearsing conversations, worrying about outcomes, and planning our next move. This is the realm of anxiety. Or we live in the past, replaying regrets, nursing old wounds, and longing for what was. This is the realm of depression. We are so busy time traveling to these mental realms of what if and what was, that we miss the only place where life actually happens, right here, right now. You feel restless and anxious because you are perpetually absent from your own life. You are a phantom, living in a world of projections and memories. You eat your meals while thinking about work. You talk to your loved ones while scrolling on your phone. You walk through nature while replaying an argument in your head. You are never fully where you are. This disconnect between your mind and your body creates a deep, unsettling sense of unease. You feel weak because your power, which only ever exists in the present, is scattered across time. The Stoic philosopher Seneca saw this as the ultimate tragedy. He wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." He knew that all of our wealth, all of our achievements, all of our plans are worthless if we lack the capacity to be present, enough to actually enjoy the life we are living. The fix for this is not a complex new system. It is a simple, gentle, and constant returning. It is the practice of slowing down and observing. It is a discipline you can practice in the most ordinary moments of your day. Tomorrow, when you drink your morning coffee, don't just consume it. Experience it. Feel the warmth of the mug in your hands. Notice the rich aroma. Pay attention to the taste as it crosses your tongue. For those 2 minutes, just drink coffee. That is a moment of peace. When you are walking from your car to your office, don't be lost in your phone or in your thoughts. Feel the sensation of your feet on the pavement. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Look at the color of the sky. Just for a moment, be a person walking. When you are listening to someone, truly listen. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Don't formulate your rebuttal. Focus fully on their words, their tone, their presence. Give them the gift of your complete attention. These are not small things. They are everything. Each time you consciously bring your full attention to what is right in front of you, you are anchoring yourself in reality. You are calming the restless, time-traveling mind. You are reclaiming your scattered power and bringing it home to the present. As you drift towards sleep tonight, let this be your meditation. Focus on the simple physical reality of this moment. Feel the weight of your body on the mattress. Notice the gentle rhythm of your own breathing, the slow rise and fall of your chest. Let this be enough. There is nothing else you need to do. Nowhere else you need to be. Your strength is not in the future. Your peace is not in the past. They are always and only found right here. Rest now, fully and completely, in the serene, powerful reality of the present moment. Rule 7. You judge yourself without compassion. You are resting in the serene power of the present moment. You have learned to anchor your awareness in the here and now, finding a quiet harbor from the storms of past regrets and future anxieties. You are learning to be fully where you are. We have journeyed far tonight, exploring the great disconnects that steal our strength and peace. We have learned to build a code, to face discomfort, to release our need for validation, to master our thoughts, to guard our energy, and to live in the present. But there is one final insidious habit that can undermine all of this work. It is the voice of the cruel inner critic, the relentless judge who resides within our own mind. This brings us to the 7th and final reason you feel weak and anxious. You judge yourself without compassion. Breathe in deeply, and as you breathe out, think of the last time you made a mistake. A time you failed to live up to your own standards. You forgot something important. You lost your temper. You gave in to a temptation you had sworn to resist. What was the tone of the voice in your head in that moment? Was it kind? Was it understanding? Or was it harsh, cruel, and unforgiving? Did it call you stupid, weak, lazy, a failure? For many of us, especially for men who strive for strength and discipline, this inner voice is a merciless drill sergeant. We believe that by being hard on ourselves, by beating ourselves up for every mistake, we are motivating ourselves to be better. We believe this harshness is a form of discipline, but it is not. It is a form of self-inflicted violence. You feel anxious because you are living under the constant threat of your own inner tyrant. You are afraid to take risks because you know the punishment for failure will be brutal. You feel weak and fragile because every setback is interpreted not as a simple mistake, but as a confirmation of your own deep-seated inadequacy. This constant self-flagellation does not build you up. It grinds you down. It crushes your spirit and makes it impossible to get back up and try again with a whole heart. The Stoics were champions of discipline, but their discipline was rooted in reason and self-respect, not in self-hatred. Marcus Aurelius, a man who held himself to the highest possible standard, gave this timeless advice: be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. But strict did not mean cruel. It meant holding yourself accountable. It meant taking responsibility. It meant getting up after you fall, analyzing what went wrong, and resolving to do better. It is the attitude of a serious athlete, not a self-hating critic. The fix for this is to fundamentally change the way you speak to yourself. It is to learn to treat yourself with the same dignity and respect you would offer to a brother or a friend who was struggling. The practice is a conscious shift from shame to responsibility. The next time you fail, the next time you fall short of your code, you will pause. You will notice the voice of that inner critic rising up, ready to attack. And you will gently, firmly tell it to stand down. Instead of shame, which says, I am a bad person, you will choose responsibility, which says, I made a bad choice. This is a world of difference. Your identity is not your mistake. You will then replace the voice of the critic with the voice of the coach. You will speak to yourself as a good coach would speak to a valued player who just missed a shot. A coach doesn't scream, you're worthless. A coach says, okay, Let's look at what happened. Your footing was off. Let's practice that. I know you can do better. Let's go again. You will use your failure as feedback, not as an identity. You will ask, what can I learn from this? What system failed? What will I do differently next time? This is the path of growth. As you drift off to sleep, let go of the impossible standard of perfection. You are a human being in training. You will make mistakes. It is part of the process. The goal is not to never fall. It is to always get back up, a little wiser than before. Offer yourself the grace you so freely offer to others. Forgive yourself for not being perfect. You do not become stronger through self-hate. You grow through self-honesty, relentless discipline, and, most importantly, a deep and abiding respect for the warrior in training that is you. You don't feel anxious because you're weak. You feel anxious because your soul is tired of pretending, of running, of abandoning itself. It's time to come home to yourself. Rest now in the profound peace of a man who is finally on his own side.